And I think, Janet, you take it on from here. And I have to say, if Janet ever asks you to lead a session in the morning at GIA, be absolutely clear with her about what time you have to get started. She had us going at 7:45 today. So if your session leaders tend to nod off, that'll be why. Okay, Janet.
Okay, so nobody hates getting up, and I'm a theater person. Nobody hates getting up earlier more than me, but so this is great. I mean, the capitalization and talking about money. We're a society that doesn't like to talk about money. We grew up. We're Americans. We don't talk about money. No one asks how much money did your parents make? How much money do you make? How much does your house cost? I mean, we don't talk about those things. We now have to talk about money. I think it's important how organizations deal with it, whether or not they have enough of it, whether they have enough. And this whole conversation began because not just the downturn, which obviously illuminated the fact that we had organizations that did not have cash on hand to pay salaries, even though they had millions of dollars in endowments, that there was a really serious problem. So sometimes what we need to survive is a discussion about a boring topic. And that's what this is. So yes, Greg, it's boring, but it is survival of our sector. And we need to be wiser, and we need to change what has been a systemic problem into a systemic solution. So we're going to move now. Gosh, right, see, when they don't go by their script, they actually got done early. I'll remember that next time. That's good. What we want to do is move now into the breakout rooms. That will start at 10:15. On your name tag, you have a room and a floor number, and that is the room that you should go to. You have maps in your programs about where all those rooms are. Most rooms on the second floor are you just go out these doors and they're down this right hall. Rooms on the third floor, there are stairs. When you go out the doors, there are stairs that go upstairs to your left. Okay, but wait now, stop talking. Stop talking. I'm sorry. I did this in the wrong order, so now you're all like looking in your packets. Okay, I have other things to say. The facilitators in your room, the discussion leaders who are heading the discussion in your room are actually folks who were at all 4 meetings and spent the year with us. So hopefully they will be able to give you the information and a sense of why this has come about the way it has. And but at the same time, they are your friends and your colleagues. They are not financial experts. We tried to give them a 7:45 training session. None of them were awake. They were all there, but not, so I'm just saying, they were in the room during these discussions, but please, be kind to them. This afternoon at 4 o'clock, Liz Curtis and Susan Nelson from TDC will be doing a session on how to talk to your grantees about capitalization and the issues that we've actually brought up in the summary. So please, if you want to know more about it and what we're talking about in terms of cash reserves, in terms of surpluses and all of and buildings and what capitalization means, please go to that session this afternoon at 4. There is also a session on Wednesday at 8:30 that Rodney Christopher from the Nonprofit Finance Fund is doing about what is capitalization and why does the balance sheet matter. So if you're a little concerned about your ability to read a balance sheet and see through the numbers and what exactly it means, I would suggest that you go to that session. I'm probably going to go to that session. It's always helpful for all of us. And what we want to know from you in this next, let me just tell you a little bit about the breakout groups. The breakout groups are similar to last year, where you will be in a room of folks of like type and size of funder. So, for example, we have, in terms of the types, we have corporate and foundation folks together, but the rooms are by assets for the most part. Folks over 5 million in arts assets, folks under 1 million, that kind of thing. So you should be in the room with someone who is also a corporate and foundation person, but also has the same amount of assets and the same amount of grant giving. that you do. And then there are local arts agencies, there are regional state arts agencies, national, regional, state arts agencies, nonprofit regranters, and our national partners. We'll talk a little bit more at lunch about national partners, but national partners are not necessarily grant makers, but they are folks who have, it's a new category of membership in GIA. They are people who run organizations that are national associations whose constituents are important to GIA members. So the national partners will also have their own breakout room. So if that makes sense, if you walk into the room and you go, ooh, I don't think I belong here, you maybe don't. So you might want to find another room to go to, and that's perfectly fine. If in fact, and try not to be exclusionary, but if in fact you have no room on your name badge, it means you're not a funder, and so you get to go to the breakfast room, Starbucks, or the bar. It's a little early for that, but this is truly a funders discussion. So that's kind of what we wanted to do there. Okay. Oh, one other thing. The community foundation people are in the boardroom, and the boardroom isn't on your map. So it's a secret room. I'm currently reading, I don't know if this, maybe I should tell you these things, but I'm currently reading the 7th book of Harry Potter. So just so I can get ready for the movie. And so I would love to say it's a room that only community foundation people can see. The rest of you won't be able to see the boardroom. But it's on the 3rd floor. It says boardroom. It's just not on your map. Okay, thank you very much. We want your honest input, and we'll see you back here for lunch.